Hey everyone, today I'm going to do a run through on the rules for Carcassonne, a very classic Euro game for 2 to 5 players. It plays in under an hour, and the reason I'm reviewing this is because this is a game I often give out to people at Christmas, especially couples that are interested in diving into board games a little bit more than perhaps they have so far. And so this is in fact a special shout out to my aunt and uncle in Ancaster, Ontario, as they received a copy of Carcassonne this year. So let's get started, beginning with the setup of the game. Everything has now been set up for the game, with the main thing being that the starting tile is the one with the white C, as opposed to all these other black Cs on the back of the tile. In Carcassonne, the goal of the game is to score the most victory points, which is kept track of on this board here, with one of your colored meeples. The thrust of this game is essentially, on your turn, you will draw a tile, legally place a tile, and then decide whether you want to place one of your meeple onto that tile. To legally place a tile, you must connect green space with green space, roads with roads, and cities to cities. Anything else is an illegal move placement. In order to score victory points, you need to place a meeple onto a tile that you've drawn on your turn. Meeples can score points in one of 4 ways, that is, they take on one of 4 different roles. They can either be a thief, that is, they are placed on a road. They can be a farmer, means they're placed on the green space in the field. They can be a knight, which means they're placed into a city, or they can be a monk when placed in a monastery. These 4 different kinds of meeples allow you to score points in 4 different ways. Meeples that are placed in a monastery as a monk score points based on the number of tiles that surround the monastery, including the monastery tile itself. This means monasteries can be worth up to 9 points. Meeples placed on a road score points based on the number of tiles that the road occupies once it's complete. So for example, this road ends at the monastery and ends at this little village, so there's 2 points to score this thief. Knights score points based on the number of tiles that the city spans, times 2. So for example, this city spans 2 tiles, times 2 points per tile, for a total of 4 points. In addition, cities which have this banner icon enable the player to score an extra 2 points per banner encapsulated within the city. Monks, thieves, and knights are scored as soon as the monastery, road, or city is completed. And as soon as that happens, you get to actually take that meeple back into your pile so that he can become a new occupation on a new tile during future plays. In contrast, whenever you place a meeple onto a green space to make him a farmer, farmers are only scored at the end of the game, which means once a farmer, always a farmer, and you won't be able to play that meeple as any other role for the game. Farmers score points based on the number of completed cities within the field that they occupy. So this farmer here, for instance, his green space touches 1 completed city, so this farmer would be worth 3 points. Due to the way that the tiles can be placed down, it may come about that 2 people occupy the same road, the same city, or the same green space. In this case, whoever has the greatest number of meeples on the road, in the city, or in the green space will score the points. In the event of a tie, both players score points. Partial points are awarded at the end of the game for incomplete roads, incomplete cities, and incomplete monasteries. The only points that are not scored is a farmer will not score any points for any incomplete cities that he's touching in his field. To know the partial points that you'll score at the end of the game, you can check out this cheat sheet here. This is during the game and at the end of the game, and add up your final points. That's basically the game in a nutshell. You continue to draw tiles, legally place tiles, cities to cities, roads to roads, green space to green space, decide if you want to place your meeple in the tile, and as you continue to complete cities, roads, monasteries, and put in farmers for the end of the game, you'll score points, and hopefully more than your opponents.